What is Hadoop? Hadoop is a free tool that helps store and process huge amounts of data using many computers working together. It is reliable and can grow as your data grows. What is HDFS? HDFS is Hadoop's way of saving files. It splits big files into blocks and stores copies on different computers, so your data is safe even if one computer fails. What is Yarn? Yarn is like a manager. It gives out resources and schedules jobs so different programs can run on Hadoop at the same time. What is MapReduce? MapReduce is a way to process data in two steps. First, it sorts data into groups, then it adds up or combines the results. Can you give a simple MapReduce example? Sure. For word count, MapReduce counts how many times each word appears in a document. How does Hadoop keep data safe? Hadoop saves copies of each piece of data on different computers. If one copy is lost, others are still there. What if the NameNode fails? If the NameNode fails, Hadoop can't find files. To fix this, it uses two NameNodes and a tool called Zookeeper to switch if one fails. What is the small files problem? Too many small files can slow Hadoop down. You can fix this by combining files or using special storage like HBase. How does Hadoop process big data fast? Hadoop splits data into blocks and works on them at the same time using many computers. This makes it much faster. What file formats does Hadoop use? Hadoop can use text files like CSV and JSON, or special formats like Avro and Parquet that are good for big data and analytics. What is the role of the secondary NameNode in Hadoop? The secondary NameNode is not a backup. It periodically merges edit logs with fsimage to keep NameNode metadata compact, preventing memory bloat. How does Hadoop place replicas for fault tolerance? With a replication factor of 3, Hadoop stores one replica locally, one on another node in the same rack, and one on a different rack. This ensures data is safe even if a rack fails. Why are large block sizes important in Hadoop? Large blocks reduce the number of blocks, lowering NameNode metadata and improving throughput by minimizing disk seeks, like reading a book in chapters instead of single pages. How does Hadoop handle DataNode failures? If a DataNode fails, Hadoop reads from other replicas and the NameNode schedules re-replication, ensuring no data is lost. What are key Hadoop ecosystem tools? Hive enables SQL analytics on Hadoop. Pig is for ETL scripting. Scoop moves data between Hadoop and databases. Flume ingests streaming logs. Oozie schedules workflows. HBase provides NoSQL storage. How does a typical Hadoop data pipeline work? Example: Scoop imports MySQL data, Hive or Spark processes it, and BI tools like Tableau visualize the results, turning raw data into insights. What is high availability in Hadoop? High availability uses active and standby NameNodes, Zookeeper for failover, and fencing to prevent split brain, keeping the cluster running even if a NameNode fails. What is Hadoop Federation? Federation allows multiple NameNodes to manage separate namespaces, improving scalability for very large clusters, like having several librarians for a huge library. How does Hadoop write and read files? For writes, the client contacts the NameNode, splits files into blocks, and stores them on DataNodes with replication. For reads, the client gets block locations and streams data directly from DataNodes. What changed from Hadoop 1, X to 2, .x question mark, Hadoop 1, X only supported MapReduce with a single job tracker. Hadoop 2, X introduced Yarn, enabling multiple processing frameworks and better scalability. How do you solve the small files problem in Hadoop? Use HAR archives, combine files, or store small records in HBase to avoid overloading the NameNode with metadata. What's the difference between HDFS and HBase? HDFS is a distributed file system for batch processing. HBase is a NoSQL database for random real-time reads and writes on top of HDFS. What are real-world Hadoop use cases? Hadoop powers log analysis at scale, fraud detection pipelines, recommendation engines, and data warehousing for BI and analytics. What should you remember for Hadoop interviews? Know HDFS, Yarn, replication, high availability, file formats, and ecosystem tools. Pair each definition with a short example to stand out in interviews. Want a PPT with all Quanda as slides? Say yes in the comments, like, share, and subscribe for more interview prep.